Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of December 9th through December 13th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of December 9th through December 13th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading December 2024, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, trade ideas for this trading week. We keep all of our weekly trading game plan notes, Google documents, in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1, as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes documents, and you can find a direct link to that publicly accessible Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome RT, Fairchild, the Ricky Khan. Thank you all for joining us in the chat today. Gerald Fitz. Thank you for joining us. Hope you are all doing well. So firstly, we'll go over our trade updates for this week, and we'll look at the charts in Webull as well. So this week we went long on land. Land is a REIT on farmland. We've been watching land in our bullpen for a while. We went long on land on 12/4 at 1181. Looked like it had pretty good support in level 2 at that 1180 level. We'll see it bounced off that support again. And then we'll see, we're leaving that in our bullpen as it did break down a little bit below its 52-week low. So there's still a pretty good opportunity if you want to get in land. Again, it's a small monthly dividend payer on real farmland real estate, and we've talked about potential catalysts with them disposing, selling off some of their underperforming properties as a potential upside catalyst. Just a quick reminder, although I don't ever recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to be notified when we enter or exit a trade. You can get real-time notifications when we enter or exit a trade by joining our Patreon. Quickly post those to our Patreon members. You'll get email notification of our entry or exit. Also, we have several additional channels of alerts, different types of alerts in our Discord available for our Patreon members. And you can hear how you can best use our trade alerts via the link to the bonus video in the notes. So if I quickly look at our additional alerts channels in our Discord, firstly, we have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. So I also have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered in Thinkorswim, they get automatically posted to our Thinkorswim channel in our Discord. I do follow that up with a trade, and then I'll reply to that Thinkorswim trade alert in the Thinkorswim channel, so you can see when we went long on land on 12/4. You can see subsequently I got an alert that land broke down below its 52-week low. Previous 52-week low was 1161. So again, still potential opportunity for you to get into land even cheaper than we did if you're interested in that trade. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I would post that in the trade alerts channel so you can see when we got assigned cash secured puts on end phase. And again, we'll talk about how we were using the wheel strategy on end phase as well. We also have a real-time alerts channel with real-time alerts generated by our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out. near our price targets, and you can hear how you can use that automated alert system to help you with your trading, whether it be short-term trading, swing trading, scalping, etc. So again, in the alerts channel, great also resource to see switches and reversals in the market, changes in sentiment, sector rotations. We see NNDM, that's a 3D printer. See Hyliion moving up. There's ARK-K. ARK-K's had a run, so you can see it's breaking out. So again, a great way for shorter term traders as well to see reversals, sector rotations, changes in market sentiment, etc. And you can get access to that again by joining our Patreon as well. So if I quickly look at our land trade in Webull, so you can see we entered on the 4th. You can see that support level right around 1180 or so. It had bounced off of that, made an attempt to break through the pivot point, came back down to that again, and level 2 it looked like there was a substantial buyer sitting at 1180, so I went in at 1181. See, subsequently it did break down lower than that. It is continuing to try to test that pivot point. So again, your possibility you'll get a cheaper price in land if you're interested in that. And again, plenty of future upside. Again, we're looking for some catalyst for them to improve their balance sheet, possibly selling off some underperforming assets. And again, it's a small monthly dividend payer, pays about 5 cents a month. But again, we're looking for a swing back up in price, benefit from price appreciation more so than just that dividend. Welcome, Katon. Gerald Fitz, if I missed you. Fairchild, Gabe Fade. How's the weather in the UK, Gabe? Hope you all are doing well. Okay, next we'll talk about our top swing trading stocks to watch list. But before I do that, just wanted to point out that Webull recently announced you can now trade select securities 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, 5 days a week on Webull. And I posted some information about how you can do 24 by 5 overnight trading on Webull in our Discord. So I'll jump over to that Discord posting. So it's got the link where you can get more information on that overnight trading, 24 by 5 overnight trading in Webull. So again, you can trade overnight in Webull now, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. You can get more information via this link. You can also find this link under trading and investing in the online browser version of Webull. Couple things I wanted to point out that some of that, it says select security, so not every stock will be available for this trading, but you can see in addition to some popular stocks like MAR, etc., there's some ETFs that we frequently trade, like yen on China, iBet on Bitcoin, got some leveraged ETFs on Tesla, got MicroStrategy, GameStop, the direct equity on Tesla, BABA, etc. And they've got a series of facts, so you can go through the facts, the times, etc. So it's 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. So their typical trading hours, their extended trading hours used to be 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now you can trade overnight, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. using this overnight trading on Webull. So if you're interested in trading those hours, or if those are more convenient for where you live, you might want to investigate this overnight trading in Webull further. If you would use our affiliate link that you can find in the Discord, also in our notes, etc., we would greatly appreciate it. You can get access to this overnight trading, also fractional shares that they're offering at the time, and any additional promotions, and also help support our BeachBum trading community, all of which we greatly appreciate. Again, I thought it was pretty interesting with things like yen and things like that. Might get a price, a good price right when they do their rebalancing. I would check, see when those ETFs rebalance. Maybe you can take advantage of that and get better prices using this overnight trading. So haven't checked it out yet, but we'll look into it as we go forward. So again, you can find more information on that via our link to the posting in the Discord, and also find that in the trading and investing tab of the online browser version of Webull. So I hope that all helps, and as we get more information about that, we can post that in the Webull channel in our Discord as well. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll go over updates to our top swing trading stocks to watch. We'll look at them in our watch list Google Sheet, and then also those charts in Webull as well. Okay, very quickly, we'll go over our updates, any updates to our top swing trading stocks to watch for this trading week. Don't really have any changes to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. We've been watching SARK. SARK is the 2x inverse ETF, leveraged ETF short on ARK-K. Saw yesterday, ARK-K's been on a pretty strong run, pretty exuberant run, just waiting for that to top out and roll over. It's made a new 52-week high. We'll have to see where that new 52-week high is. I didn't see the Crow in our chat today, but thank you to the Crow. He's had great instincts on waiting and being patient in SARK, waiting for ARK-K to run up. So again, Crow's had great instincts on being patient in SARK, wait for ARK-K to top out and start to roll over, and then we'll look for an entry point in SARK. Again, you heard my thesis yesterday that I think ARK-K is vulnerable to tax loss harvesting due to the many money losers it has in ARK-K. It's had a big run up. A lot of that's probably based on Tesla, maybe some of the Bitcoin related stocks they have. Similarly, we've been watching the short on IWM, which is SRTY. Again, SRTY is a 3x inverse leverage short on IWM. Alternately, you can use TZA, which is a short on small caps. We did a comparison of SRTY versus TZA, and you can hear that comparison via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Again, similarly, in my humble opinion, I think the IWM, the Russell, may be vulnerable to tax loss harvesting leading into the end of the year. So we did see the Russell has rolled over somewhat. We'll see if we get a last hurrah in the Russell and get a chance to short with SRTY. So just a quick reminder, we now have our watch list, our bullpen, our shopping list, etc., all in our watch list Google Sheet. So we'll also look at that, and this gets automatically updated at the end of each day. If I make any changes to that after it's been generated, then I post that in the Stocks Watch List channel of our Discord, and you can get access to our watch list Google Sheet, Stocks Watch List updates channel, etc., all by joining our Patreon. So again, if I make any changes, we added SOXL, etc. Also now when we add puts to our puts ROIC Google Sheet after it's been generated, can add those. So we added BDRY, SOXL, etc. I post that in the Stocks Watch List updates, and also send notification to our Patreon members. So I hope that all helps. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our watch list Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch. Also our recent enhancements, how you can use the PE, price to earnings ratio, average to range, ATR, how you can use our price targets, support and resistance, buy at, sell at price targets in our watch list Google Sheets, all to hopefully help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career. So again, if we look at our top swing trading stocks to watch list in our watch list Google sheet, you can see there's SARK and SRTY. We've got, support and resistance, buy at, sell at price targets, current pricing information, risk reward profiles, links to their Finviz profile, also dividend information and optionality information. And again, we recently added their PE and ATR. Again, PE not applicable to these ETFs, but you can use the ATR to help you see volatility as well as set your stops. So I hope that all helps. We very quickly also look at those charts in Webull. So again, you can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. See ARK-K. So again, ARK-K's had a pretty exuberant run lately. Looks like the new 52-week high, 63.08 or so. So we can update that in our notes. So again, I would use the top in ARK-K to determine the bottom in or entry point into SARK. So then we'll wait for ARK-K to peak out, capitulate. Be nice to see a good capitulation, and we'll use that as an entry point into SARK. And it's had a pretty exuberant run, pretty extended. Similarly, IWM had made a new 52-week high, and it's kind of been declining since then. Again, we'll see if it makes a last push before the end of the year near that all-time high, or gets rejected off of these pivot points and use that as an entry point into SRTY. Or again, alternately, if you prefer TZA, you can use TZA for small cap. So I hope that all helps. Okay, let me grab a drink and we'll also talk about our bullpen stocks. Okay, if you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that don't necessarily have these set up right now to satisfy our top swing trading stocks to watch list, but I've identified that they may in the near future, so we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them again later. So we've had AEHR in our bullpen for a little while. AEHR Test Systems, semiconductor stock. It had popped up. Looks like it's rotating back down. Again, the semiconductors has declined a little bit. So we're looking for some opportunities for a swing back up in semiconductors using a couple individual stocks as well as SOXL, as you'll see. You can get more information about why we like AEHR via the links to the videos in our notes. As you saw in my Discord posting, we recently added BDRY. Last week we talked about, took a quick look at BDRY, its composition, etc., why we like a possible swing, the seasonality in BDRY. Again, you can hear more about that via the link to the bonus video in our notes. Also, you can watch BDRY in our ETFs Google Sheet as well. Again, BITI, the short on Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin spot finally broke over 100,000, retraced back down below 100,000. Not sure. I can take a quick look and see where it is currently in a minute. We're already long BITI. So whenever Bitcoin does correct, if you want to jump in short, or you can long BITO. So again, these are based on the futures. So you'd watch the futures like /BTC and Thinkorswim, or again, this is based on the futures, so that's the futures in Thinkorswim, or we'll look at the spot Bitcoin price in Webull in a second. An alternative is SBIT. I think the Crow and some others of our BeachBum traders prefer SBIT, kind of like BITI for its dividend. Again, we'll just wait for that correction. We're already long BITI, but again, when it finally does correct, you might make some money shorting Bitcoin using BITI or SBIT. Again, you can hear our comparison of those two via the link to the bonus video in our notes. Taking Hymex out of our bullpen, Hymex ran up. So again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who caught that run up in Hymex based on our trade idea. So we're going to take that out of our bullpen. We've made good money on Hymex before, and you can hear our analysis of Hymex via the links to the videos in our notes. Talked about land. Again, I'm leaving land in our bullpen in our watch list Google sheet. You have an opportunity to get a better price than we did still. When it does swing back up, then I'll just take that out of the watch list Google sheet. I'm watching SLP, again, Health Information Services, technology stock. You can hear our analysis on Simulations Plus via the link to the bonus video in our notes. Looks like it may be coming back down, and we'll get an opportunity. It's pretty volatile. Talked about semiconductors. Again, we saw this, semiconductors have been slowly coming back down. We're looking at options of either buying SOXL or selling puts against SOXL. You can hear how we use SOXL and SOXS to trade semiconductors, also several other options for trading semiconductors via the link to that video in our notes. Also taking Shutterstock back out of our bullpen. Again, it ran up as well. So again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who caught that run up in Shutterstock, profited from that trade idea. We'd love it if you would, if you make money trading based on some of our trade ideas, we'd love it if you'd share that with your fellow traders, social media, etc. Encourage them to join our BeachBum trading community. Again, hopefully they'll be able to benefit and make money from our trade ideas as well by joining us. So again, now we can more easily watch our bullpen stocks as well in the bullpen tab of our watch list Google sheet. So again, I'm just tempted to move some of these up to our main top swing trading stocks to watch lists, but again, I can trade them just as easily watching the bullpen sheet in our watch list Google sheet. So again, you can see potential price targets, support resistance, risk reward profiles. Also, again, dividend information, earnings dates, optionality. Again, we recently added PE, so you can see, which ones might be cheaper if you have to make a selection between some of these, and also their average true range ATR help with your stops as well as volatility in general. So if I quickly look at those charts in Webull, so here's AEHR. Again, if we zoom out a little bit, we could see, the previous bottoms at about 983. Been coming down a little bit, still kind of choppy. So we'll see if we can get a pullback in AEHR, give us a good entry point. BDRY, again, we've talked about last week. It's been declining for quite some period of time. It does look like it gained some support down near the new 52-week low, about 623 or so. Again, pretty low volume, pretty choppy. It did bounce up on Thursday. Look for a little bit of a retracement on Friday. We'll see if this support around 620 or so holds. If so, that would be our potential entry point in BDRY. And we talked about, seasonal swing back up in dry bulk shipping prices. Again, plenty of potential upside going up to 12, so more than a double potentially. So here's BITI. So again, that's the short on Bitcoin. So if I want to very quickly look at the spot price of Bitcoin, again, you can have all kinds of watch lists. So I've got one on crypto. So there's BTC. So it made the spot price made a high of 104. Looks like, again, now it's right down below 100. So that 100 level is providing resistance. See if we get a significant correction in Bitcoin, be a good opportunity with BITI or again, SBIT. SLP, again, you can see how volatile it's been. It comes down to support, bounces up, hits resistance, gets rejected, bounces down. So we're looking at, potentially this 2686 or so level. Also looking at potentially selling puts against SLP as, again, another option. Similarly, SOXL came down, bounced back up, broke resistance a little bit. Looks like it's coming back down. Another one we're looking for potential, possible support at 25. It has been lower, so that support, that 25 level looks like pretty good support. So we're also looking at potentially selling puts at that 25 level as another option to pick up some SOXL or profit from the swing back up in semiconductor sentiment. Okay, I'm going to skip over some of these. I've got a lot to cover today. So we'll see if we have time to come back to some of the honorable mentions, but you can take a look at these via the notes. You can see these are multiple bottoms I identified in FinViz recently. We have time. We'll come back and do some quick due diligence on those. Our shopping list stocks, again, we always recommend that you have your shopping list ready for any irrational reactions to earnings or corrections in the market. And just a quick reminder, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education and entertainment purposes only. But again, we still recommend you stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies. Again, we still got high interest rates, will for some period of time. And some of these companies, I've seen several others go bankrupt, drop off, become insolvent. So again, watch out for those, particularly going into the end of the year. Talked about tax loss harvesting. So your big losers for the year are more likely to continue to decline due to tax loss harvesting. Some may bounce back early in the year after all these tax losses have been captured and you're outside of the wash sale rule window. So if you're not familiar with how tax loss harvesting works, what that means, how the wash sale works, you can access more information about those concepts via the links to those videos in our notes. Also, if you're concerned about the solvency, the financial health of any stock, be it a biotech or just any other money-losing stock, concerned about how soon they might drop an offering or go bankrupt, etc. We can use our biotech due diligence Google Sheet to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive, and you can hear how you can use that biotech due diligence sheet to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive via links to a series of videos on how to trade biotech stocks via the link in our notes. And you can get access also to that Google Sheet as well as all of our others by joining our Patreon. Now we can also watch our shop list stocks via the shop list tab of our watch list Google Sheet. You see we have some REITs like Land, LTC, O, Stag, etc. So again, you can see the information, dividend information, etc., risk reward on Land. The one I wanted to highlight today particularly is USOI. USOI is the monthly dividend payer on oil. Saw oil broke down below 70. Looked like it was going to break down below 67 on Friday. I'm looking to pick up a good chunk of USOI. Again, it pays a nice monthly dividend on oil. They also recently announced their next ex-dividend dates, not showing up in other data sources yet, but it should soon. Their next ex-dividend is December 20th. They announced a $1 about $1.49. So you can access that article via the link in the notes. So we would like to get a nice big chunk of USOI, both to collect that dividend and play a swing back up in oil as well. So I did update that in our shop list tab. Also, we talked about wheat, but we want to watch the wheat futures. Again, wheat broke, I think it broke its 52-week low recently as well, and I think we got that alert late last week. Yeah, there's wheat on the 4th. It's made a new 52-week low. But again, we want to watch the wheat futures price to determine our entry point in wheat. Welcome, Walter Lyons, if I missed you earlier. Thank you for joining us. So again, you can see we've got some of the yield maxes, APLY, TSLY. We watch uranium, steel, rare earth materials. We talked about that yesterday, looked at some metal ETFs. Here's MP Materials. It did retrace after a pop on that China news. JEPI, JEPQ, some dividend payers. So okay, let me grab a drink and we'll check the chat, and then we'll look at dividend payers using our dividend payers Google Sheet. If there's anyone in the chat who has a particular dividend payer you want to take a look at, we can do that. I think I saw somebody, Easy Mike or somebody mentioned MPRY. Maybe take a look at that. Okay, in addition to our swing trading, making money swing trading stocks, we also buy dividend payers, hold dividend payers to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. And we use our dividend payers Google Sheet to identify dividend payers with the yield, schedule, etc., risk reward profiles that we would like. And again, you can also use our dividend payers Google Sheet to generate your own schedule of dividend payers by joining our Patreon. I also have a whole series of videos on how to find the best dividend paying stocks. You can access that series of videos via the link in our notes. And I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, see if anyone else has any other dividend payers you want to take a look at. You see, I think I have MPRW in here, PUR. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. RW. Nope, I don't know. So if someone helps me out, what am I doing wrong? So here's the dividend information on BITI. See if I have that in our ad sheet. PWR, RW. No, doing something wrong. So CBS we've talked about, some stable dividend payers, IEI and IEF, people like JEPQ. Also, if you're looking for a dividend payer on gold, IGLD, also GLDI. PWR, thank you. Okay, so I don't have that one. Might be one I need to add or take a look at. See the dividend information on land. Also, yesterday we talked about MJ, so it's been trending down. And we talked about the seasonality in MJ. It does probably will pay the next dividend towards the end of the month. It is close to its 52-week low. Again, it's just a quarterly dividend. The yield's pretty good, but again, cannabis has declined. But if you're looking for one to buy and hold for a swing back up in cannabis, potentially in the spring, you might want to look at MJ before the end of the year. Again, money losing shipper, another money loser. Closed-end fund you can take a look at. The risk reward's not all that exciting. And we looked at OPP before, Pfizer we've talked about. Here's REMX. Again, this is a ETF on rare earths. Looks like it hasn't paid a dividend for quite some time though. Yes, SARK does pay or had paid a special dividend end of last year. So another, we don't know if they'll pay that special dividend again at the end of this year, but another potential reason you might be interested in getting into SARK before the end of the year if they do pay that special dividend again at the end of the year. That was pretty healthy last year. Some of the others also paid dividends, but again, these are leveraged ETFs, so they will decay over time, so not necessarily ones you want to hold for the dividend. TLT, again, we saw bond swing back up. We have a number of bond funds, etc. you can find. Here's the information on USOI. Again, other data sources haven't updated their ex-dividend date yet. And again, we have the yield maxes on the top of the ad sheet. Not many I found terribly attractive right now, although we've been keeping an eye on AMDY. ULTY, it's up a little bit. So if anyone else has any other dividend payers you want to take a look at, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. We can come back, look at those dividend payers. In addition to using dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income. We wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. Our first strategy is selling and buying back covered calls against our positions. So we sell covered calls when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down. And we have a covered calls Google sheet that we use to do what-if analysis on potential covered call strategies. Done a series of videos on how you can use our covered calls Google sheet to do what-if analysis on your covered call strategies. And again, you can get access, also make a copy of our covered calls Google sheet by joining our Patreon. Did make some enhancements to our covered calls Google sheet that I want to point out and go through this week. Firstly, I added a stop and stop profit columns. We'll take a look at those and how you can use those to compare the using a stop versus selling a covered call. Also, I added conditional formatting on the break-even column to highlight the cell in red if the current price is greater than or equal to the break-even price, which would mean that your option, your covered call option, may be at risk of being exercised early. If the stock is currently above the break-even price, that means whoever bought that covered call would be in profit if they exercise that option early. So I wanted to highlight those. So again, those enhancements to our covered calls Google Sheet. So firstly, I added the stop column and the stop price column. And I used as our example, we recently looked at selling and buying back covered calls on our position in end phase. Ideally, we started with a sell out at 1810. I was tracking the price of the covered calls via the highest price for the day in this row. So the highest recent price was 7. So then we can compare our profits and our break evens, our ideal premium versus the current premium. And also I added these so that we could compare, okay, if I put a stop in, what would be my profit? Now, part of the reason I did that is I found in retirement accounts, I can't do a one cancels other order or an OCO order with a stop and also selling a covered call, although it would make sense. I'd love to have that since they are essentially one should cancel the other. If I sell the covered call, I can't sell it via a stop. If it comes down and hits my stop, then I want it to cancel myself for a covered call. But the Fidelity account won't let me do that. So I wanted to be able to compare which one should I do. Should I sell the covered call or should I put a stop in? Again, I can move that stop up and then see, okay, my profit would be that given this position if it hits the stop versus selling this covered call. I'd get 1200 for that, 170 for that. So depending on which direction that stock's going, I might want to do one or the other since it won't allow me again to set up a one cancels other order. So again, I hope that all helps. Again, you can make a copy of this, track your covered calls similarly, and now also track your stops on those and switch between selling covered calls or putting a stop in. I hope that helps. Also, if the break-even price is above, so we see here's just an example we looked at very early on where we've got Google. So Google has now gone above that break-even price where we did this example a long time ago. So now if you have your covered call and the stock's now above the break-even price, you can see what the break-even price is. So like if Enphase got above, 82, if I had that call out, then that would show up as red, possibly get exercised early on that position. So I wanted to highlight those in red. So again, another way you can track all your covered calls. So again, I hope that all helps. Our other option strategy is to sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're going back up. You can see our criteria for selling a put in our notes. And we use our puts RYC Google Sheet to identify opportunities to sell them and buy back puts. And again, you can get access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet, hopefully help you make money trading options as well by joining our Patreon. Also made some enhancements to our puts ROIC Google Sheet that I want to quickly take a look at. And then we've also added some and updated some puts in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So firstly, I added a break-even price column in column AF, and I added conditional formatting on that column. So the break-even price will show up in red if the break-even price is greater than or equal to the current price. And we will be rolling the expirations of the options to the any of the December options are from 12/20. We'll be rolling those to 1/17. So firstly, if I just look at those enhancements, so on the far right, I added a break-even column. So you can see that the break-even is the current price, but it's the strike price. So L2, so the current strike price minus where I would sell it at. So that would be the break-even price for that, selling that put. And that will show up again in red if that would be exercised because the prices drop below the strike price minus the sell price. So if that put would potentially be at risk of being exercised early, then that break-even price will show up in red. Don't think I currently have any that show below their break-even price at this time. So again, another way to see, would that option, would that put be at risk of being exercised early if the break-even price is above the current price. So let me know what you think of those enhancements, if that will help you make money trading your puts. So some other quick updates. Grab a quick drink and we'll go over the other updates to our puts. Okay, just very quickly, some other updates to our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So I lowered the put on UBXY from 19 to 17. Again, it's still a December expiration. We talked about the seasonal trend down in the VIX towards the end of the year. So the 30 delta level broke down below 19. So I lowered that. We'll see if that's a good way to trade that decline in the VIX and swing back up in the VIX. We also looked at those futures and the futures term structure yesterday. See, it's in contango going out into next year. So again, maybe a good way to trade that swing back up in the VIX using puts on UVXY if the premium gets more attractive. And VIX is pretty low, so all the premiums are pretty low, so not a whole lot of good opportunities to sell puts for high premium right now. I added SLB, Schlumberger. Another one that's been popping up is Halliburton. So I added this so we can do the research and get the puts data for Schlumberger at 37.50. Put that out to 117. Looked like it had a little bit better premium. If we have time, we could come back and do more due diligence on selling puts on Schlumberger and look at that in more detail. Updated the put on Enphase. Enphase been pretty volatile, but it did bounce up quite a bit into the 70s. So I moved the strike back up from 55 to 60, and I moved the expiration out to January. So if there's anyone interested in selling puts on Enphase, you can hear our previous discussion via the link to the bonus video in our notes. Also, if you would like us to add any puts to our automated systems, do the research on those puts, add them to our puts ROIC Google Sheet, please let us know the ticker, the symbol, the expiration dates, the strikes. We'll add them to our automated systems. It'll update our puts ROIC Google Sheet, and you can also see those. And again, we have a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet via the link to that series of videos in our notes. Again, not a whole lot of very attractive ones right now. We've still got a put sell out on Intel. Intel is getting close to that strike price, but again, the premium's not all that exciting right now. It's at 4%. I've got the sell out at 315. So again, now we can see the break-even price. Still got the sells out on SRTY and SOXL at 25. Again, premium's not all that exciting right now. But you can see where I've got the sell prices and the premiums I would collect and break-even prices. So again, I would compare the break-even prices also to the 52-week low. So not likely to get exercised if it's below the 52-week low, in my humble opinion. Again, UVXY premium's not very exciting right now. 52-week high, though, was 250. So at 250, again, we get 12%. So if that does pop up a little bit, that might be an option for swinging volatility into next year. So keep an eye on that one. Again, with the VIX low, not a whole lot of others very attractive. You can see the premium on NPs at 60. So it might be one you might be interested in at a higher premium. Again, we've sold one on NEP at 1750. So again, this is one where I can watch and see if the break even turns red. That one when it was already exercised, so I'm trying to buy it back for 5 cents right now. And you see it is currently above that strike price. SOP, again, I've been trying to sell one at 30, but no, not a whole lot of activity, not a lot of volume in SOP options. So pretty attractive, but again, not a whole lot of trading. If I could get that at 330, it'd be 8%. So that'd be pretty attractive, but just no buyers. So okay, again, if you have any other puts you want us to add to our systems, take a look at, please let me know. Again, if we see the VIX pop up a little bit, we might get more attractive premiums going forward. But again, another way I can watch trends in the market, shifts in some of these stocks, is see what's going up and down, etc. Okay, good. About a few minutes, and Easy Mike has been mentioning and wants to look at UAMY. UAMY is a single stock on antimony. Again, antimony, I guess, was one of the metals that China stopped exporting, and got a good pop up. So we'll look at this in biz a sec, and maybe in chart mill. So again, just a quick reminder, you can find links to the tools and resources we frequently use in the links section on our homepage. Our homepage is beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So let's go to FinBiz first, look at UAMY. Again, on that news, huge run up. So congratulations, Katon, Easy Mike, on catching that news, catching that big run up in UAMY. Zoom out a little bit, let's see what kind of upside. So it's really high from a weekly standpoint. I've got a little more upside to 230 or so. Long term, maybe up to 4. So a little bit more upside. Big strong pop. So again, protect your profits. Don't give it back. Looks like they lose a little bit of money. It's a U.S. company. Looks like a relatively small. They lost a little bit last earnings. Doesn't look like it's followed by analysts. There's no expected numbers, so we're losing a little bit of money. That's not too bad. It is optionable. It is shortable. Not a huge discrepancy between outstanding and float. Again, losing money. Again, that China news, big pop on the China news. Look at their net income. Recent quarters. Again, it oscillates. There's negative, positive, negative. EPS similarly. It's like they were making money and now they've been losing money more recently. So again, it looks like a good news play, and protect your profits, take your profits when that peters out. Yeah, we looked at DBB, some other ETFs yesterday, DBB, REMX, etc. I look at this in Chartmill very quickly. So not much growth, health okay, valuations, again, it's popped way up, so it's kind of expensive now, not a great time to jump in now, but if you were already in, congratulations, a nice profit. See what they do, storage batteries, antimony, etc. Fundamentally, 2 out of 10, health's okay, everything else not very good. Return on assets pretty bad. Their Altman Z is okay, so not a risk of going under anytime soon. So you could hold it. Doesn't perform. It's pretty high. Yeah, great technical rating because it's run up a lot. Current setup. Yeah, not a great setup now given the big run up. So again, congratulations, K-Time. Easy Mike. Now, if you do get a pullback, maybe you might get another opportunity if you get a big pullback. We saw a potential upside up to 4 or so. So thank you for sharing that with us, K-Ton, Easy Mike. Again, not a great time to enter now, but one you might want to watch for pullback and again, protect your profits. Okay, got just a couple minutes. If anyone in the chat has a particular stock you want to take a look at or a question, yeah. Alternately, we talked about REMX and MP. You can watch MP in our shopping list tab. We have REMX in our ETFs Google Sheet. It's also in our dividends Google Sheet. So a couple places you can watch REMX. It was kind of surprising after that big run up in MP and REMX, they did retrace significantly. So I'm not sure why, other than profit taking after the big run up, news run up. Yeah, zinc. I think we have also some ETFs in our ETF Google Sheet in zinc. Maybe we'll take a look at those again next week. We talked about we have nickel and IKL, aluminum, ALUM. We've got a variety on uranium, etc. So yeah, keep an ear out on that China news if they restrict further rare earths, further metals, further exports. Might get an opportunity like with this UAMY and some other stocks and or ETFs based on further restricting exports. Okay. Another one I'll just mention here. I'll wrap up unless somebody else has another questions. Okay. So Easy Mike wants to look at TIP. Look at that real quickly. Okay, a bond ETF. Looks not a huge dividend. Looks like a monthly dividend payer. 19 cents or so, 8 cents. Positive performance for the year. Yeah, some potential upside. Yeah, it looks like some good long-term upside. See what it is. So Treasury notes. See what the definition is. U.S. Treasury inflation-linked bond index. So it sounds like I bonds. Tips. Maturity of more than 1 year. So yeah, it looks like a small dividend, but some good potential upside. So there might be a bond ETF you might be interested in. See if I already have that one in here somewhere. Oh, nope. So again, when we might do the research on, and we can add that to our ad sheet of our dividend payers and maybe come back and take a look at that. That's okay. Yeah, we do have a number of bond funds, etc., in our dividend payers. So you can do a search on bonds, see different durations, etc., different risk reward profiles. But yeah, that tips looks interesting. Yeah, we have Bill in here. So there's BIL, etc. So again, a lot of variety of different bond funds. You can find the one that fits your income desires, yield, etc., risk reward profile using our dividend payers, and we'll look at adding that tip. Okay. Again, just to mention one, maybe we'll take a look at it next week or when we have time, is this AES. This has been showing up in the option seller ROI tool that I look at on a daily basis. It's in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So I look at that for potential premium to add to our puts ROIC Google Sheet. And this AES, it's a utility. It's been popping up, but the premium on the puts seems pretty low. So maybe a potential swing trade. But again, we'll take a look at AES maybe next week or in the future. If anybody has some feedback on AES, that'd be a good swing trade candidate. Also, maybe Schlumberger SOB. Again, I mentioned SOB and Halliburton have been popping up. Again, maybe potential swing trades versus selling puts. So again, maybe some we'll take a look at in the coming weeks. And again, you can take a look at some of the other honorable mentions, see if those might be of interest to you, and we'll try to revisit those again in the near future. If I missed your question or comment or a ticker that you want to take a look at, I apologize. Please put them in the comments to this video or in our Discord. Tag us in our Discord with any questions or stocks you would like us to take a look at, etc. Or beachbumtrading.com or beachbum trading, all lowercase, no other characters, symbols, etc. Our Discord's free to join. You can find a free link to join our Discord in the description box below. All the channels are available with the exception of a few that are available only to our Patreon members. But again, you can discuss all kinds of topics related to trading, different asset classes, different trading styles, got information on different trading platforms, tools, etc., all in our Discord. We'd love to have you join our Discord and join us in the discussions. Again, we can talk in our Discord 24/7, keep a thread going there. So I like it better than some of the chats. But again, love to see you there. I'd also love to hear your feedback on what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, any further enhancements you'd like to see to our Google Sheets, etc., to our Discord, our community. We need your feedback to continue to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. We hope that you like this content. Please do us a favor and smash the like button. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to show us some love someday and share our content with other fellow traders around the world. Also, we'd greatly appreciate your help in reposting our content on your social media sites, inviting other traders to join us in the live chats, join us in our Discord, etc. So thank you to everyone that joined us in the chat today, everyone that's watching after the fact. We hope you'll come back again next weekend, 10 a.m. on Saturdays for part 1, 10 a.m. on Sundays for part 2 of our next weekly trading game plan. Otherwise, we hope you have good luck and have a great trading week.